All right, folks, we're back, and I got the bracket up on the screen for you. I'm sorry if it's a little too small, if you can't see it, but just kind of wanted to give you guys a little heads up to see how it looks like. So Man0x and Random moved on. Baker Man unfortunately eliminated. Nixotica and Nats move on. Brayburn and Lava unfortunately get eliminated. Tank and Neal move on. Odaz unfortunately eliminated. Charles and Mitch move on. Cat Curly Fries, even though I misspelled his name, sorry, is eliminated. So we are going to be hopping in to match number 1, which is Man0x, Nixotica, Neal, and Mitch. The way this worked is the first 2 matches, Man0x and Nixotica, that are in first place, and the second and third match, they take the second place team, which were our second place players, which was Neal and Mitch. Threw them in one round, and then vice versa. So the other match was Tank and Charles from first place, and then Random and Nats in second place get thrown in this one. We lost Man0x. So yeah, that's what's going on. We are currently waiting for Man0x. The other match has already started. And then once we get Man0x in here, we'll be able to get this match going. So as again, it's Man0x, Mitch, Neal, and Nixotica. All right, so we're getting a lot of readies. Nix, Man0x. Just want to double check to make sure. Why is the score in tournament say 7-6 then whenever? Not sure how I'm going to record this if point limits was 7. So the reason why it's saying 7 and 6 is to show which person got finalist and won first. So 7 just means that person hit finalist and then won that round first. And the 6 means the person who got second place. That's all that means. It's just easier for me than putting 2 5s and then having to break up them and yada, 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 yada. So here we go. We're going to get into this game. Just waiting for Mitch. Not sure where Mitch is. Is Mitch driving? All right, here we go. Oh no, Alpha. Okay, so first map is Waka, second map is Innocence, and Alpha Mixing is third. Oof, these are going to be interesting maps. Nixotica, the mapper himself, has a little advantage on Alpha Mixing. Yeah, Chloe, I don't know if you're in here, but for some reason I have to keep manually doing everything. All right, here we go. These are gonna be interesting maps. Someone's doing your work for you? Nice. So again, we got Waka's the first map, Innocence is the second map, and then Alpha Mixing as the third map. Literally, both my maps that I made are in here, and then the hardest map of them all is in here. And again, it's all about getting in first place. And this is going to be a really tough match. I mean, both rooms were tough. Honestly, I didn't even know which one I wanted to stream. But because of the fact that our sponsor of the day, Damascus Gaming, has both of their players in this room, I figured we'd throw them up here. So here we go. Jumping on board. My plugin keeps breaking. My plugin's gone. Not sure where my plugin went. Alright, so I'm going to have to do it this way for now. So, surprise, surprise. The two DG boys are up ahead. Neal in first, Nixotica in second, Man0x in third, Mitch falling really far behind. Mitch was the last second sign up as well, so wouldn't be surprised if Mitch wasn't fully practiced on these maps. But Nixotica and Man0x both going for the outside dirt, which we even saw in the map previews, was exactly what I expected. And first place goes to Man0x, who steals it by not using the bounce. He directly goes for that for the finish line, and works out perfectly for him. So Man0x first one on the board. Where is my stupid too many? There you are. Plugins breaking everywhere, man. Oh, and shout out to Mello in the chat, Man0x's TMWT teammate. Mitch again going for a really wide movement. Sorry about that. So unfortunately, this is not a map for Mitch. Mitch really far behind. We got Nixotica and Man0x again up in front. Only two players will be moving on to the grand finals here. Nixotica is the only one who went for that outside dirt line. You do get a lot more speed. That allows you to get through this part a little bit easier. Oh, but both DG boys, oh, Neal ends up clipping. Nixotica goes straight for the finish. So Nixotica now will take a point. I have a feeling this one's gonna be a bit of a longer round, because again, it's all about getting that first place. I know I keep saying it. I generally like the way I made this one. It's really cool. So we have two players on the board, Man0x and Nixotica. Mitch really falling behind between these guys, and Neal. Ooh, we got our first bonk. Man0x ends up bonking really hard into that checkpoint, and DNFs. Nixotica is just taking off right now. I don't know where he's getting the speed, but he is getting a crazy amount of speed and now taking off. Up in front, 31.2. Neal 0.3.5 behind. And unfortunately, Mitch is just left in the dust. When I learned about the risky, oh no. And Nixotica all by himself will get in there and go for it. Thank you, Lava. This is one of my maps. I appreciate that. So, Nix now taking the lead, 2-1. The other two down in the zeros. Good start in this round as we finished up in Waka, and now we're going to be moving on into Innocence, which is not so innocent of a map, as we saw in that last round where we had almost every player DNF. I could not believe I saw what I saw, but yeah, that did happen. So now all the players warming up again, 30-second warm-ups between each map, just so that everyone can kind of click themselves into the map. And moving on into this one. I hope everyone's enjoying this format. If you have any feedback, please let me know. Unfortunately, I am having problems with this comp tool. Good to know. Here we go. Gonna hop on board with Mitch, who's been having a little bit of problems. Ah, just like that. Stacked lobby. Oof. You like the format? Thank you. Appreciate that. But rough beginning for Mitch, unfortunately, sliding straight into the pole. It's a tough beginning, for sure. I'm not sure if Mitch had any practice on these maps. Mitch is a really good player, too. Don't count him out. I think he just didn't have as much practice as he would like. Neal all the way up in front. Nixotica just gaining speed, unfortunately. bonks there, and it's going to be out of that one. Man0x also, I guess, had a little bit of a bonk. So now Neal all by himself up in front. If he has that HUD on, he knows he has plenty of time. He's not going to try to push or do anything crazy here. He's going to take this first round. 51.3, really good time on this map as well. It blows my mind how they do. I didn't get this. That's my quarterfinal, yeah. It could have been ugly, but here we go. Finally, we got another player on the board. Neal on the board. I also just realized chat's been on the screen this entire time. Nothing against you guys. Love you all. But you're blocking the scoreboard. Ooh, rough beginning for two players. Man0x ends up bumping around, and he's going to be out for this one. And so is Nixotica, who had a little bit of a rough beginning. So Neal is just running away right now. Can't wait to hear from Man0x later when he goes, man, why you make that ice? Waiting for it, waiting for it. We got both DG boys up in front again. Mitch falling way behind. I can't even hear his engine, unfortunately. I think he made a mistake earlier. Nixotica made a mistake on that bridge, but does a good job now. Both players with a lot of good speed. Nixotica doesn't go for the outside dirt line. If you can stay completely on the outside, you get full speed, but it's very risky. And Neal will take that one. Good round. 0.3 difference between the two players. And, I mean, that dirt line is very tough. But, yes, it is 100% possible to be on the complete outside. And it is also possible to make the jump into the finish line without hitting the ramp. Mitch, again, going really wide at the beginning, unfortunately. I guess Mitch has not realized he wanted to stay on that hard inside, and because of that, he's going to be out of there. Neal has constantly been up in front, but somehow, once in a while, will fall out of place. Man0x also falling behind, currently between the two Damascus Gaming players again, the sponsor, the best freaking esports org out there, man. They are the reason why I get to fulfill my dream of hosting my own tournament and everything. So thank you again to DG, !DG in the chat to get more information about them. Who I know will be hosting their own events in the future. Nixotica. Man, going for that risky jump, man. Going for a very risky jump. But it will be Neal who will take this one. Neal, who was having a rough beginning, is just pushing. RBG in the mud. Yep. Not the best org. Not even an org anymore. Throw it away. Was the best org. All right. This is it. This is what I was waiting to see. This is what I was waiting to see. Nixotica, the mapper himself, going in to alpha mixing. The most dreaded map out of every map in here. Everyone was terrified of this map. People have been asking for remakes and all that. Again, I went a little crazy with the cutthroat and kind of let the mappers have a little bit too much fun, excuse me, going into this one. But yeah. It's going to be a fun one. So let's start on board with the mapper himself. Very awkward beginning. Got to land that one, not lose any air, or not gain any air. Nixotica and Neal, the two Damascus Gaming players up in front. Nixotica doing a really good job through the grass line, coming into the dirt now. Try to keep your gear 4 as you come up into this dirt line. Onto the scenery grass. You lose a little bit of your speed there, which is meant to happen as you go into this drift here. Neal and Mello, looked over again. Man0x, not too far behind. Neal actually goes for the inside. Kind of works out for him as he's starting to build a lot more speed than Nixotica. Neal ends up taking too much air, though, and ends up bumping away. Mitch is the second player up against Nixotica, but Nix is so far up ahead. It's its own map. He doesn't even go for the risky finish. Mitch had a chance to snipe, but didn't even go for that one. This drift here is a nightmare. A lot of people have been having problems with that, but 3-3 now. Nixotica tied up in the lead with Neal. Man0x still with only one win. Mitch, unfortunately, has just not been able to do anything. Oh, Man0x, I think, made a little bit of a bump, and he's going to be out of this one. So again, the two Damascus Gaming boys are in the front. Mitch is actually not too far behind now, but this grass line, if you go a little too wide, you're going to lose a lot of that speed. As you saw, Neal was swinging a little bit harder than Nixotica, and that's why Nix is up in front now. Off the deco grass into this really tight turn. Oh, Mitch ends up getting a really rough turn, so Man0x is going to probably try to catch up, but it's between Nixotica cutting his own map. He put that there to tell people don't go all the way to the left because you can clip, and decided to go for it anyway. Dangerous little angle. Nix knows exactly where to drift here, of course, so Nix with mapper advantage will, in fact, not go for that. Neal could have stolen, but unfortunately hits the edge of the finish line and lost his chance to steal that one. So Nixotica now in finalist. I can't believe that happened. Neal, you had a chance. Oh my goodness. So now last round of this map works out in Nixotica's favor, as now all Nixotica needs to do is finish. He needs to come in first place, and he will punch his ticket into the grand final. Man0x finally in the conversation. Finally got that beginning down. Nice dirt from both Nix and Man0x, who ends up going a little too close to the wall and bumps out. Unfortunately, Man0x makes a mistake there. So Nixotica and Neal again are two up in front. Oh, and Neal makes a mistake as well. So Nixotica just needs to finish. Mitch is the only one contending for this one potentially, but very far behind, almost 1.5 seconds behind. Nixotica is going to probably opt to go for the safe finish again, knowing how much time he has. Bunked his own pole, but doesn't matter. Congratulations, Nixotica. You are officially in the grand final and contention for the prize money. And that is also going to be it for Alpha Mixing. We are done seeing this map potentially for the rest of this match, as Neal only needs to win 2 more times to punch his ticket into the grand finals. Man0x still has 4 more wins to go, and Neal is just looking to try to get on that, or excuse me, Mitch is looking to get on that board. So back onto Waka. Man0x definitely can turn the tide here. I believe he has the world record on this map. So it's really going to come down to what how much he's willing to risk on this map. I mean, that's the thing. Man0x always plays that YOLO style. Just go, go, go. Never really tries to slow down or anything. So we'll see what happens with that one. And it looks like the other match is actually completed. Little update, Tank and Charles have both won and moved on to the grand finals. Tank in first, Charles in second. Random with 1 win only, and Nats unfortunately did not win at all. Now, back in our match, Man0x was in first, but unfortunately bumps a little bit, so now Neal is just going to be running away. But this map is a little cruel. Anything can happen. Mistakes can happen up in front. Neal getting into that dirt line. Man0x usually goes for the wide out line just to get a little more speed, but not able to pull that one off this time. And now Neal has made mistakes here. Not making that mistake now. Oh, Man0x went straight for the finish. And Neal has now put himself in. Oh, Mitch is taking this one. I did not know you can land in the pool. That was great. So Neal now also in the position to punch his ticket into the grand finals. And what a grand finals it will be. Gonna stay on board with Man0x, who has a really great start here. Does a little release, not to go too far out. Oh, but ends up bumping. That could be it. Mitch is the only one in position to deny Neal the win. But Mitch has been struggling. Neal makes a mistake. Mitch makes a mistake. Oh my goodness, both of them. Mitch had a moment. He had the chance. But unfortunately, just like that, makes the mistake. Neal is going to see that checkpoint and notice that no one else is crossing it. And that's pretty much it. It is GG here. Thank you, Man0x. And, whoa, wait a second. Mitch, start pushing. Neal made a mistake. And he may have to go for the safe finish. No way he's going to make this one. He's going to go for that safe finish. Mitch, too far back, unfortunately. And that's it. GG's. GG's all around. And just like that, the Damascus Gaming Boys are going to be moving on. They are our official grand finalists alongside with Tank Rom and Charles. Man, Man0x definitely had a really good chance to take that away, but unfortunately, too many little mistakes. Part of it I will take as me not mapping well. But either way, Rambo, thank you for the follow. Either way, great matches overall. So we're going to take a quick break. If you are competing and if you are watching, do not depend on the time in the game. I may move it up because we will be here forever waiting for the... Actually, wait, when is the last game set up? 6:20. Yeah, not going to happen. If you are watching, it will probably happen in 10 minutes. So we're going to take a quick break. Don't go too far, folks. We'll be right back with more Trackmania action after this.
So